December 9th, Tuesday, 10:21 p.m. Was driving a car today, doing something. Some guy drove by me and waved at me. Looked like my dad, who died in 11. He was an old guy, gray haired. I don't see many people, who look like him since he died. He talked about lookalikes. He was in a line of lookalikes of my real natural dad. Okay, then these people say, "Well, you're like him." So all they're talking about is you look like somebody. They don't talk about their degrees and ACT scores and test scores. They just talk about they look like somebody because they're all idiots. See people who, all these idiots who look like people. Do they really expect anybody to take them seriously, like me with my degrees? They're just going around causing problems, fucking, identity theft, murders. I don't give a shit. The place is insane. Oklahoma State, BS mechanical engineering in 4 years with all the crap and fraud. I didn't get straight A's. I quit trying after I was a pledge in the Beta House. I knew it was over with. And the crap that some of the teachers were teaching and the fraud that went on just makes it really not that fucking, not a whole lot of credibility to those issues. That's all I talk about: ACT percentile, GMAT percentile, standardized tests. Less bullshit and fraud. But there's still crap and fraud on those. Got 93% on GMAT. I'll take 93% of $4 billion a year. What'd that $4 billion a year guy get on the GMAT? The ACT. What age and education level was he at when he was allowed to get a license to even try to do it? See, these are all issues I like to talk about. All the idiots want to talk about how stupid I am or my big ugly nose or whatever. They make me sick to my stomach, and that's what the guy living the life of my dad did after my high school, after college. In Video Corner, he was a complete idiot, and I was right. So Merrill Lynch, have your board of directors contact me on national TV. Same thing with Payne Weber and UBS and Smith Barney, Morgan Stanley. Let's discuss these issues openly on national television. I'm from Kansas here, Kansas City. I have roots. I have roots that make me different than people that don't have roots. People who have roots have different things and experience than people who don't have roots. I'm not wrong, I'm right. So hand me a trillion punks. I sent an email to Reese Nichols today. I don't know, people, it's just fucking give me a headache. Their top legal person in Kansas City, some female, said, I was interested in being the chairman of the company, and I guess it's no longer owned by Berkshire Hathaway, it's owned by Compass. And, I got experience back to Coldwell Banker in the 80s when it was owned by Sears. And then I got fucked up, blindsided by Crum and fucked over by Johnson. And then the whole place went bankrupt because it got bought by a home builder who bought it from Sears. He went bankrupt. And Crow Brothers went bankrupt. And Reese took over the Crow Brothers residential office, which had 10 people or something. And then a lot of the Coldwell Banker, they're the biggest company in Kansas City, residential real estate sales. Hundreds of agents went to Reese or Eugene Brown. I guess there were the two big ones back then: Nichols, Reese, and Eugene Brown. So one guy said he was going to go to Reese because Reese mortgaged his house to start the company or something, or I don't know. Eugene Brown went away, and Reese Nichols is still here. I guess Coldwell Bankers come back with franchises. When I moved to Olathe, I was going to work at a Coldwell Banker franchise. Selling these things out, went down the toilet. So really, I'll be the chairman of Compass Real Estate. I want hedge fund paycheck of $4 billion a year, or just 96%, 93% of $4 billion a year. That's pretty fair, logical. People don't think right. They say I don't think right. They're all scum. They're Nazis. They're punks. These psycho fucking punks. They fucked me up, so they need to be fucked up even worse. There's no such thing as too much money. There's just too much disrespect. So Merrill Lynch, hand me the trillion. Punks on national TV. Smith Barney, Payne Weber. The parent companies now. Morgan Stanley, UBS. Let's get this out in the open on national TV, punks. Purdue, Cranor, Wilbur. I was going to church yesterday at church, or in Prairie Village. I went and ate Minsky's before I went to a church concert. And this blonde-haired girl sitting there. And then they start talking. She starts talking in French or something. It seems like dead dad. She thinks she's Lazard Ferrer. Is they talk in French? I've heard that my whole life. Lazard Ferrers, or I'm Ferrer or Lazard. They don't have an office in Kansas City, and they've never called me back. I guess they got public stock now. But, it's never mattered for me, only against me. So that issue's really fucking whatever, huh? Of course, then he said her dad was Wilbur. She was in the military, and she's used to knows people get thrown in jail for trespassing in stockbroker offices. And her dad was a finance teacher, Wilbur, and she's blonde. And I think that's one thing he said one time. I got no fucking idea. I guess 4 or 5 Wilburs have driven by my house in the last 10 years. 20 years since I moved to Olathe, yelling at me, calling me punk, whatever. Was there a Wilbur the other day driving by his car, just leaning back like this? Like, oh my God. I'm 64. I was 23, 24 when I graduated with my master's in Purdue. And Wilbur, at that point, he knows, he's probably 10, 20 years older than me. If he's still alive, the real one, I don't know. I don't know how many of those teachers from Purdue are still there, still alive. Who the hell knows? So hand me a trillion punks.